Well, guys, I told you that hell would freeze over before I reached 50,000 subscribers, and as I'm recording this, the world is basically falling apart. Isn't that great? Happy 50K. Hi, guys. Welcome to Leave Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. I'm okay, I guess. Very happy that we have hit over 50,000 subscribers on the channel, which is incredible. Like, I'm just completely blown away. We've been at this for like 2 years now, I guess, maybe 2.5 years, and as one commenter said, most channels don't even get past 10 subscribers. So I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful for all of you guys and all of the great tunes. And I'm gonna keep this short, but I gotta say something. This channel means everything to me. Sometimes it may not feel that way. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I get mad at it. But that's just life. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to it, I would do anything for you guys. I really would. And very thankful for all of you. So for our special today, it's going to be courtesy of our patron, Tom. As always, Tom, thank you so much for your support, my friend. I really appreciate it. We're doing 2 songs by Paul Simon. We haven't listened to Paul in forever. I mean, good God, it's been probably at least a year. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a while since we listened to Paul Simon. So I saw this request on the list, and I was like, you know what? That's perfect, because the song title, I added a song. Still Crazy After All These Years, which is a great song name. And then the one Tom requested is Gone at Last. They're both off the same album, so I just thought I'd throw them together. Let's have a party. Hopefully it's fun songs. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Patreon and PayPal if you want to help me support getting my fucking car out of the shop. That's the way to do it. Or if you want to get a video just like this, you know what to do. Join Patreon. Alright, here we go. I can't find my knife to turn on my other headphones on, so I have to wear these headphones tonight. Alright, here we go. Paul Simon, Still Crazy After All These MF Years. I feel him on that. 3, 2, 1, go. I don't have the big light on tonight. It's informally.
I met my old lover on the street last night. She seemed so glad to see me. I just smiled, and we talked about some old times, and we drank ourselves some beers. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years. I'm not the kind of man who tends to socialize. I seem to lean on old familiar ways.
Oh, the piano.
And I ain't no fool for love songs that whisper in my ears. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years.
Whoa, there's strings?
4 in the morning, crapped out, yawning, longing my life away.
What a voice, man.
I never worry, why should I? It's all gonna fade.
Yes, it will. Whoa. Oh, come on.
damage one fine day. But I would not be convicted by jury of my peers. Still crazy after all these
I feel
years.
on that, man.
Oh, still crazy. Still crazy. Still crazy after all these years.
Damn, that last line just hits you, bro. What a long ride it's been. Damn. Gone at last.
The night was black, roads were at sea, snow was falling,
And that bass,
winds were
holy shit.
high. I was weary from my driving, and I stopped to rest for a while. I sat down at a truck stop. I was thinking about my past. I've had long streak of that bad luck, but I'm praying it's gonna last. Gonna last. Gonna last.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gonna last. Gonna last. I've had long streak of that bad luck, but I'm praying it's gonna last.
It's got like almost a soul gospel vibe to it. I love it.
I ain't done. I've kicked around some.
Who is
I
that?
don't fall too easily. But that boy looks so dejected. He just grabbed my sympathy. Sweet little soul. Now watch your problem. Tell me why you're so downcast. I've had a long streak of bad luck, but I pray
hell yes.
it's gonna last. Gonna last. Gonna last. Gonna last. I've had a long streak of bad luck, but I pray it's gonna last.
I love the energy. There's so much momentum in this piece. It's great. Oh shit.
Once
He
in a
was on
while,
piano, dude.
Come
Holy
out of
shit.
nowhere when you don't expect it and you're unprepared. Somebody will come and lift you higher, and your burdens will be shared.
Yes, I do believe. If I hadn't met you, I might still be sinking fast. I've had a long streak of bad luck, but I pray it's gonna last.
Oh wow.
Gone,
There's a lot of
gone,
people. I'll check after.
gonna last, gonna last, gonna last. I've had long, speak of that bad luck, but I pray it's gonna last. Gone, 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 gone. I've had long, speak of that bad luck, but I pray it's gonna last.
Whoa. That was crazy. Oh no. That's not fair. You can still hear it going. God damn. Whoever was on piano for that was absolutely nuts, dude. Both of those songs, the piano was great. Those songs were like, I wouldn't say the antithesis of each other, but they were almost like the complete opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to Paul Simon. So that's cool that we got a dose of both, not both sides, but two sides of his many sides. The first one, that really got me thinking, man. You know, I've been really reminiscent lately, and I've actually started dreaming again for the first time in a long time, and it's for one reason I'm not gonna share with the internet probably, but it's I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about my friends lately, you know, and I wish I could sit down. I don't drink, but I wish I could sit down and have a beer with them. You know what I mean? And just, or whatever. And they're all dead, or they're all gone. Or they don't want to talk to me anymore. So it's well, no, I'm a very lonely person. In real life, it sucks. Even though I have a beautiful family, it's still. You still need people outside of that. You still need friends and stuff like that, and talk and hang out with, and vent frustrations and stuff. And I don't like doing it on the channel, even though I do it a bunch. But Paul Simon just has a knack of, I don't know, his writing is just so immaculate that it brings the picture and the music to life in your head. And I was like following every line that he said, and that's what that would totally ring true. Still crazy after all these years. I look back on my life and everything that's happened, and I have no explanation for it. I have theories of why I'm still here, and after all the stuff I've been through, and should have been dead many times over, and yet here I'm recording this video, for you guys, listening to great music with a YouTube channel with 50,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? I would have not picked that bingo on my bingo card 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely been a crazy just 5 years in general since I had Danica, or we got pregnant with her and I got clean and stuff, and I wish my friends were here to see it. I wish they were here to see Danica, and because even though they had their issues, they were still great people deep down. They taught me a lot about life, good and bad, and that's just how it goes. And I miss them dearly. And man, that second one was, like I said, like the opposite. That was just joy. That was like, it felt like Paul Simon gospel music. That was so great. I gotta see who was on piano for that track. That was absolutely so good. So Still Crazy was the first track, and then Gone at Last. Oh, so both first tracks on the sides. So Gone at Last was side 2, track 1. Side 1 was Still Crazy After All These Years, track 1. So technically that's track 6. Let's see who we got. Richard T. was on the acoustic piano for the second song. David Hood was on bass for the first song. Roger Hawkins was on the drums for the first song. Looks like Grady Tate was on drums for that. He's got everybody on this fucking. Oh my god. Ralph McDonald did percussion. The Jesse Dixon Singers were the girls that were singing, and also Phoebe Snow did the vocals. Poetry Man, Harpo's Blues. She was guest vocals on Gone at Last. Huh. Damn, she died in 2011, Edison, New Jersey. Well, she had a wonderful voice, man. It really complemented that song, since it had such high energy and momentum to it because of the piano and the bass. Which also, I saw Tony Levin was on this album, which is freaking, and John Tropia was on one of the tracks. Damn, we just missed Tony Levin. It was Gordon Edwards on bass. Like, he was killing it, man. Like, what a combo that piano and that bass was in that song. And then, of course, Paul Simon's voice, and then Phoebe as well. Just an excellent song. That's just like one of those, like, get up in the morning and just like, you gotta shake off the blues. That's the song you put on. But if you want to reminisce and wallow in self-pity, the first track is definitely the way to go. Even though he has his own beautiful way of writing it, because I could have worded it differently, but he, as always, is because he's a poet, still crazy after all these years, It doesn't matter how old you get, you're still you. You know what I mean? I felt that recently that time isn't linear, I think linear time is a creation of man, and it's not real. It's real in a sense, but it's not the law of the universe, if that makes sense, the best explanation I ever got of like the Big Bang, if it happened, was like, or not even the Big Bang, but like the universe in a way. There's multiple Big Bangs that just happen over and over, but imagine like a camera, like an old school camera with a flash on it, and like the light starts at a very minute point and spreads everywhere, and eventually it just becomes nothing, it just keeps going. And that was the best explanation for me of like, just how the universe started. And I don't know, it just applies to so much with the time, because I think We invented it for crops and for all kinds of other stuff, and it's very helpful. But I think we live in all just one big moment. We're still connected to our 17-year-old selves. I'm connected to my 47-year-old self. Hopefully, I'm alive then. Who knows? Not the way the world's going right now. It's like on fire, literally. If you looked at Mexico, holy shit, dude. It's not even just Mexico. It's all over the world. No, not even my generation. The generation after me, or before me. I don't know which way it goes. But Gen Z, like, they're really rising up, man. And I feel like I see both sides of the coin, because I'm a very I hate patting myself on the back. I'm a very even-tempered person, and I like to see both sides of things, and I'll play devil's advocate, and, I'll steel man an argument and just try to, poke holes in it just for fun. It's sad because a lot of these kids don't see a future. They don't see hope. They don't have any hope. That, they used to have church and stuff. If that was your thing, that doesn't really exist anymore. And if it does, it's like some corporate monopolized mega church. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing sacred. There's nothing anymore that anyone holds any actual value in, like morals or anything like that. It's basically a free-for-all, And I hate to be like that, but that is the signs of late-stage capitalism. And it's everyone trying to run for the scraps, basically, while everyone at the top is eating lobster and asparagus and shit like that. So I get why the people are rioting. I get why the kids are angry, But at the same time, you can't tear it all down, because they don't understand that their pampered existence, in a way, most of them, even in our country especially. It all came from that, and it all came from the people before them that worked their asses off and got cheated themselves in some way, but they still pushed through it, I feel like that generation doesn't have a backbone or a spine or anything, and they'll just riot at anything. They're bored. They got nothing to do. Now they got AI replacing everybody, doing all kinds of stuff. It's scary. So what are we supposed to do if the robots are doing everything? Are we just gonna be doing working the fields? We're going back to serfdom? That's scary, man. It's gonna be feudalism, part 2. Techno dystopian feudalism. That's what's coming, and it's kind of scary, man. Why can't we go back to 1975 with Paul Simon, bro? Sorry to go on a rant, but it's just I feel like that's an important topic right now, because literally everybody in the world is in turmoil right now. And I can't help but feel that somebody's poking the bear. You know what I mean? It's not just an accident. I feel like this is a coordinated, planned effort to kind of bring shit down. And as I always say, okay, you want to burn it down, fine. But you have to have something ready to take up space after you burn that thing down. You gotta have a plan, not a concept of a plan. You have to have a plan. You gotta have things ready. But they don't know that. They haven't been through war. Some of those countries have. I can't lie. They really have. But especially our country, Mexico, they've had to deal with the cartels and stuff. So I get it. The corruption is completely rampant. Politics, if you look in the dictionary, corruption should be right next to it. No matter what, if you become a politician and you get lobbied and you start getting money from different little, PACs and stuff like that, it's over. You're bought and paid for, and that's such a shame, dude. We need a new generation, not a revolution. We need a new generation of people to go in there and actually do the job correctly. Not get frickin' blackmailed because you were, sucking somebody's dick or something like that and they got you on video. You can't do that, You got to have a fresh, rotating face of politicians that are just randomly, not randomly, but a pool of people, likely candidates. They don't know if they're going to win or not, and it's just sort of like a lottery. And they can't take any money. The term limits should be 4 years at the most, maybe 2. And I don't know. It's just, I feel like we could fix the system. And maybe I'm just an optimist, even though I'm really not, to be honest. I feel like the world's going to end. But I think that's the best way forward. Instead of burning everything down, why don't we try to fix what we have? Because we do have a very broken system, but it's a system that works kind of sometimes, It works for the rich people for sure, but you know, it's I'm not one of those eat the rich people, because you need rich people to pay the medium people that pay the poor people. Like, it's how the world works. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Paul Simon. Like, I'm sorry. Like I said, I go on these rants. Like, I don't know. I don't even know where it starts, to be honest. But Paul Simon just writes so well, and like he's so evocative with his language that I don't know. I wish people that were rioting right now and burning stuff down could just sit down and listen to this album and reflect and be happy, be sad, experience life, you know, the ups and downs of it. That's just how it is, you know. It's a roller coaster. You go up, you go down, you go sideways, you stay still for a little while, and everything blows up at the end. And boom, stop. You're dead. You know, that's just how it is. And I don't know, man. It's a beautiful thing just being able to listen to music like this and talk, you know. So I'm very grateful for all you guys for listening. Hopefully that made some sort of sense, you know. Maybe I just wish someone could talk to these kids and just be honest with them. And I wish they could listen, you know. Because most of them don't want to listen. They just want to watch the world burn, you know? Because what's the saying, that African proverb? The child that does not feel the warmth of the village will burn it down for its warmth, or something like that, you know? I feel like that's a lot of kids these days, because a lot of kids don't have parents because they OD'd and died, and their grandparents are raising them, and their grandparents are already trying to retire. They're already retired and stuff, and they don't want to raise more kids. And it's, you know, like, that almost happened to me. Like, if I had overdosed and died when Cheyenne was pregnant and she still had Danica, she wouldn't have a dad in her life, you know. Well, at least it wouldn't be me, you know. So, like, it's scary that, you know, there's so many lost souls out there, and I wish I could just sit down and talk to them, you know, and just be like, hey, I feel your pain, brother, you know, sister, whatever. I just wish you wouldn't, you know, sort of like put the gun down sort of thing, you know, even though they don't have weapons down there, you know. It just makes me sad to see people so in turmoil. But there's really nothing we can do. Nothing I can do personally. I can talk on the internet about it, but that's about it. And I'm not even talking about what I'm supposed to fucking talk about right now. I just, well, it's my 50K special. Fuck you. I get to talk about what I talk about. But when it comes down to it, thank you guys for everything. It's been a hell of a ride. Not gonna lie. Hopefully we get to 100K. Before, you know, 2027 or something like that. But, you know, I like having a smaller channel, to be honest, because the big channels, they watch them more. People, you know, the companies do. You get angry patrons. Like, back when I was, like, by myself doing all this, you know, like, last year, and, like, I would miss someone's request or something, like, it would be the end of the fucking world. And I would just want to tell those people to fuck off, you know what I mean? Like, sorry. Like, I literally have requests from, like, almost 100 people, you know what I mean? Doing my best here, but now it's kind of slimmed down, and it's a lot more, you know, streamlined, and it's easier. And I'm very grateful to all the help I get from Cora. She's been a godsend with getting all the lists together and stuff like that. So thank you, Cora, and thank you everybody for watching. Sorry for talking so much. Hope you have a great day, and see you later. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe we try again. 1, 2, 3.